So I just want to go over the worksheet for today to make sure that you're clear on what all of these questions are asking. This is called Depository Institution Research. Remember, that just means banks. So we're researching banks based on their website. You are free to use the website of a bank that you already have an account at or another local bank. I would suggest choosing a local bank rather than a nationwide bank like US Bank, just because you're more likely to find the answers to these questions. So the first part is where you are going to say before you research, what kinds of things would you look for in a bank? You don't know anybody, your parents have not set up an account for you. What would be important to you as you are looking for a bank? So there's three blanks there, three things that are going to be your priorities as you're going through this. Then you'll simply put the name of the bank you're researching and then tell me what type of bank is it. It should either be a bank, a commercial bank, or a credit union. And just a hint, the only credit union in Salem is Riverways. So if it's not Riverways and it's in Salem, then it is a commercial bank. Location. So you're saying online only means that this bank does not have any brick and mortar locations. It is only an online bank. So I would prefer that you not choose one of those. I would prefer you choose a local place. And then you'll say that it has physical locations and how many. You should be able to find out that information by looking at the different locations on their website. So does it just have one? Are there multiple locally, so in Salem or surrounding areas? Do they have locations across the state or even locations across the nation? Next, are they insured? Remember that you're looking for the FDIC logo, probably visible on their website, or NCUA if it's a credit union. So once you've found that, you'll click that they are, or if you don't find it, click no. Looking at checking accounts. So somewhere on their website, they're going to have some information about the accounts that they offer. So do they have only one type of checking account? Or do they have multiple types? And which checking account did you choose? So look at their accounts a little bit just to see which one do you think would work for you. And you're going to write down the name of that. So they have different names. Maybe they have student checking or senior checking or general checking or whatever they call it. Choose one that makes sense for you. Are there any fees with this account? That will probably also be on their website. If you are not finding any of this information on their website, choose a different bank that does have a better website. No fees, or do they have fees? And you can be just summarize here. Don't have to list out every single fee or how much it is. Just summarize what their fees look like for the checking account that you chose. Does it offer unlimited check writing? Um, this is kind of outdated. Okay, so probably they have unlimited check writing, but if they don't, it will probably say you have a maximum of 6 checks per month that you can write or something like that. So if you see it, write it down. What is one other thing you would like to know about checking accounts before you make your decision? So if I was to give you $100 right now and said, I need you to go open a checking account, what else would you need to know before you make a decision? And so that's going to be a very personalized question and answer right there. Then we're going to move on to savings accounts. Again, a lot of the same information. Do they have only one type of savings account or do they have multiple? And if they have multiple, which one do you think is right for you? And then you want to say, what is the current interest rate on the savings account? That should be on their website as well. It's going to be a percentage, and it's probably going to be fairly low, like 2% or less. So that's the kind of information you're looking for. And then it does say if the rate's not listed online, find an email address or a phone number where you could call and find out more information. You're not going to call. Are there any fees associated with this savings account? And so you're going to summarize the fees if there are fees. And if so, could you avoid the fees by managing your account responsibly, or they're non avoidable fees? So you kind of want to think about this in two different categories. Yes, there are probably fees for penalties of different kinds, but we're assuming that you're not going to trigger any of those penalties and you're just going to be a responsible person. Are there fees such as um, just a monthly fee or an annual fee that you have to pay for just to have the account? That's what we're looking for. And then again, is there any other information to consider about the savings account? Maybe if it has a minimum balance of $100, and maybe you would think that's something to consider. Will I always have $100 in this account? And is that realistic for me? Things like that. Then you're going to look for some other features. Do they offer debit cards? Okay. Yeah. Again, this is a little outdated. Everybody offers debit cards now. How many ATMs do they have? And do they offer online and or mobile banking? And so you'll check the appropriate box there. And what other services? So it says describe one other service. Remember back on our notes, the different services that they may offer, like financial advice, safe deposit boxes, credit, like loans, um, those special needs payment instruments like cashiers, checks, money orders. So anything that you see on their website that falls into the other category, you're going to describe that quickly right here. And then again, other information. What is one other piece of information that you might want to know to decide whether or not to become a customer of this bank? And so that could be like the last slide on our note-taking guide, where we're talking about, all the different factors that you might consider, the locations or the fees that they charge, or even you could think about, do you know somebody who works there, or do you know somebody who's had a good or a bad experience with that bank? So any kind of thing, anything else you can think of that would affect your decision in any way. And then at the end, it asks you to reflect on your research. It says to provide at least 3 reasons to support a decision of whether or not you would choose that bank. I don't need 3 reasons. I don't need this to be, an official essay. I just want you to very quickly summarize, looking back at the first 3 questions, or the first 3 priorities that you had. You can think, does this bank and these accounts that I looked at meet my priorities? Why or why not?